Today on The Young and the Restless, Faith offers Lucy support, Sharon surprises Nick, and Phyllis walks in at an inopportune time. All products and services featured are independently chosen by editors. However, soaps.com may receive a commission on orders placed through its retail links, and the retailer may receive certain auditable data for accounting purposes. Lucy walks into Crimson Lights and sees Faith. The older girl takes her into her arms and she cries. Faith gets Lucy a drink, and the girl apologizes for losing it. Faith tells her there's no reason to apologize. She can't begin to imagine how devastating this is for her. Lucy cries. She can't believe her mom is gone. I miss her so much. She never thought there would be a time when she wouldn't be there. She wishes she could take back the horrible things she said to her and could tell her how much she loves her. Lucy would hold her and never let her go. Faith asks if she knows any more about what happened. Lucy has no idea. It's so crazy. Faith knows this is the hardest thing she's ever had to face, but she has to promise this tragedy won't lead to her doing something. Lucy says, stupid. Like drinking. She admits she's been tempted. At the club, Chance tells Summer he wishes Daniel would let him search the apartment. Summer narrows her eyes. You don't actually think Heather was having an affair, do you? Chance wants to let the evidence rule it out. He'd rather do it with Daniel's cooperation. Summer tells him the suggestion he's made is painful for her brother. Chance tells her this is the only hope he has of getting their family the answers they deserve. At Daniel's place, he tells Phyllis that Chance suggested that Heather may have had a lover. He told him it was disrespectful, and on top of that, he wants to search the apartment. Phyllis finds out he refused to let him, and tells her son he has to let Chance do it. It's a huge mistake not to allow it. Daniel shakes his head. Phyllis says Chance is a professional and knows what to look for. There could be something he and Lucy wouldn't find important. She doesn't believe Heather had a lover, but he needs to let Chance find that out. Maybe there's a clue that will tell them what happened. It's an investigation, Daniel. Let him do his job. She offers to start searching herself, and Daniel holds up his hands. Okay, Daniel tells Phyllis he's not ready to go through Heather's things, and he doesn't want her doing it either. Phyllis understands. Daniel says it's all he can do every day just to walk past her things. He can still smell her perfume on the sheets. Her slippers are there, but he can't bring himself to pick them up. Chance isn't going to find anything. What happened to Heather was an accident. What does he expect to find in their home? Even if the worst happened, the answers aren't there. Phyllis knows it would be horrific for him and Lucy. If there's nothing there, let Chance figure it out. Alternatively, he might find something that would tell them about Heather's last moments. Just consider what I'm saying. At home, Sharon arranges sunflowers into a bouquet and then picks up her phone. She calls Nick, who is just entering the coffee house patio. She asks if he's busy, and wants him to meet her at the park. At the park, Nick finds Sharon waiting with a picnic. This is how we are going to spend our afternoon. Nick's bewildered about why she's doing all this for him. Sharon says to thank him for dinner the other night. I got all your favorites. Nick makes a weirded out face. Sharon tells him he's been supportive, and it's time she did something for him. She pours him some bubbly, and says she's avoiding alcohol on her new meds. She feels so much better the past few days, and attributes a lot of that to him coming to her rescue again. Nick compliments the spread, and Sharon reminds him of the first time he made him her famous chocolate chip cookies. She makes small talk about work and says this reminds her of a picnic they had when they first started dating. Nick doesn't remember. Sharon tells him he'd laid out delicacies from all over town. Nick recalls it started to pour and they had to hide under a tree. They laugh about the picnic being washed away. Sharon says, and then you kissed me. She was smitten. Nick says, young and dumb in love. Sharon wouldn't have changed a thing. In his office, Billy throws a file on the desk and calls Esther to get Don in sales on the phone. He's missing deadlines. Billy's laptop rings. It's Jill. He answers cheerfully and asks how she's feeling. Jill tells him she wouldn't be smiling if she were him. This is not going to be pleasant. Billy puts Jill up on the monitor on the wall. He's worried about her health. Jill says this has nothing to do with that. She's doing much better. In fact, she's expecting a clean bill of health from his Uncle Snapper soon. Billy tells him how pleased she is, and that the kids can't wait to see her. Jill's already spoken. She hears from them more than she does from him. Billy claims he's had his nose to the grindstone. Jill has heard. Billy asks if there's something wrong. Jill fumes, "You bet there's something wrong." Jill bellows, "Did you really think I wouldn't hear about all these outrageous actions you've taken without my input or consent?" Billy insists he's making sound business decisions. Jill rants, "How is firing Lily a sound business decision when she knows more about this company than you will ever know?" Billy reminds his mother she gave him full power. Jill rants that he used it to get rid of Lily, let Chance walk, and replace them with Phyllis Summers of all people. Billy defends his decision to hire the redhead. Jill asks if he's out of his mind. "Are you on a one-man mission to bring down the whole Chancellor Empire?" At the club, Summer feels helpless. It's hard enough watching Daniel and Lucy going through this, but adding an investigation on top of it is a million times worse. Chance wants to solve this as quickly as possible. Summer wishes there was more she could do. Chance assures her that she can help Daniel face whatever comes next. Suddenly, he gets a text. Her brother wants him to come over. At Crimson Lights, Faith gives Lucy props for stopping herself from drinking. Lucy says he didn't do it for herself. She fought the urge because she knew her mom would have hated it. Even though she's gone, it feels like she sees everything now. Lucy doesn't want to disappoint her, so I did it for her. Faith assures her that doesn't sound crazy. It's comforting to know her mom is always with her. Lucy cries that it's not fair that she never gets to see her again. Faith tells her that's why she has to keep her alive in her heart. Lucy cries about the police investigating, who would want to hurt her, and why at Daniel's place. Chance says he was surprised to hear from him. Daniel had time to think about it and reconsidered. If Chance wants to, he's willing to let him search the apartment. Chance just wants to help bring him closure. Daniel's sure he won't find the answers he's looking for there. Chance learns Phyllis convinced him. Chance pulls out gloves and Daniel complains about how this feels. He pleads with Chance to hurry up so they can put this part of the investigation behind them. At the club, Phyllis tells Summer she tried to convince Daniel to let Chance search the apartment. Summer tells her he called Chance to come over. Phyllis is glad and notes it must have been hard for her son. She hopes Chance will find some clue as to what happened to Heather. Summer asks if she thinks Chance will find something that will change everything Daniel believed about Heather. Phyllis doesn't believe Heather was having an affair. Daniel and Lucy were her world. Summer agrees. She is sure Chance won't stop until he gets to the truth. Phyllis hopes Billy will hire Daniel back at Chancellor to help him get his life back on track. At Crimson Lights, Faith tells Lucy she's sure Chance is just being thorough by looking into every possibility. Lucy thanks her for being so kind. She regrets taking advantage of her kindness before. Faith tells her to forget about all of that. Lucy never had a good friend. Her mom was always her best friend. For most of my life, she was my only friend, she cries. The idea that someone wanted her dead and the thought of what the last few minutes of her life were like, please, don't let that be how my mom died. Faith hugs her. Nick and Sharon walk in and Sharon is startled to see Faith holding Lily. Nick and Sharon approach and he asks Lucy how she's doing. She's not doing too well right now. Sharon says, of course not, and hands her a tissue. She asks where Daniel is. Lucy says he's at home. She needed to get out. Nick asks how her dad is doing. Lucy says he's still in shock. They both are. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to us. At Abbott Chancellor, Billy asks his mother if she really thinks he wants to see the company fail. Jill says it looks that way. Billy guesses she got her information from Lily. Jill says she did. She should have gotten it from him. Billy was worried about her health and didn't want to distract her from getting better. Jill thinks this means he knew he was wrong. Billy denies that and tells her that Lily was screwing him over. She was secretly planning to get him out so she can run the company on her own. As for Chance, he gave him an ultimatum to make him an equal partner, but he's been at the company for 5 minutes. He's been making sound business decisions he thought she would be proud of, but she has no faith in him. Jill thinks Billy overreacted to some imaginary plot he believed Lily had hatched, and could have tried harder to keep Chance in the company. He should have consulted her. Her health is just an excuse. She tells him he's